Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
You will never keep your happiness, narrator.
Hey guys, Cyclonic Flame here, and welcome to the Stanley Parable. This is episode 2, and when we left off, I completely ignored the guy who's supposed to be directing the game. I broke the game, and I locked myself in a closet. That's where we left off, and that's where we're going to continue from.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Oh yeah, that's right. This guy thought that I died and
Coming
somebody
to a
else is...
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
He thinks somebody else has taken over the game. Yeah, sure, I'll follow his instructions this time around. Why not? Right. Ooh.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Well, you know, I wonder if it's gonna... So you said 2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
You know, I was kind of expecting the bookshelf to slide back, not the door, not the fireplace. What the hell is this? Right, down I go. So, what could possibly be down here? That's what I want to know.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
The stirring emotion in your chest, it's being free from whatever the fuck you were doing before. Which is quite common for students from high school to college.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
From high school to the end of university. It says escape here. Mind Control Facility or escape? I might as well play along with what he's saying for now. Oh my god. Do I really want to?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
It could be like a massive virtual reality machine, but considering the fact that it said mind control facility, I'm guessing it's just for every single employee here.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers.
There's my
Of
office.
so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Just like America. I'm sorry, was that 2 out of line? That was probably 2 out of line, I'm sorry. Some of them say
this
fired.
Mind control facility. It was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Okay,
no.
I guess.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Again,
Here
skull.
was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Ooh, that's a bit dramatic. Ooh, big red button. Can't press it, unfortunately. Alrighty. Ooh.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Well, I can either turn it on or turn it off. I know what I'm doing. Off you go. Whoop. Was that the right thing to do?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Pretty accurate.
Was it over?
I know, is it?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Well, we're going to figure
But
that
as
out.
sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Huh.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
The narrator tells a good story when he's not being interrupted by an asshole New Zealander female. But I'm going to have even more entertainment. Alright, my game just froze for a second there. Now, let's see. What do I do now? Actually, no. Can I close this? Yes, I can.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the
I can't open it
He
again.
had to make a decision. What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Well then. That was one of the fastest endings I've had. Now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Boop.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Just clicking everything again. Input. Alrighty. Now.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna go back to the forklift.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yes, I do.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I don't. I just want to go to the forklift.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, quiet you.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you.
The temptation
all this
to move
time.
is strong.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
That's slightly creepy.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Yes, I just did.
It wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
Of course I'd choose wrong.
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Yes, I am.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices.
You only just figured this out.
Letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Wait, so you...
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What? Okay, so...
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process.
That's just weird.
Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, If you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Oh boy, this should be entertaining.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
So, he realizes that I'm an actual player now, even though he acknowledged it while I was in the fucking closet. And also, this might be an opportunity to break the game even more. So that's going to be a thing.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Says you bloody fourth wall breaker. So, now that he realizes that I'm an actual person, apparently it's all gonna go to shit if I make the wrong choices. So, do I help him, or do I piss him off?
You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hold on, I've got this.
Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
It's too late now. Never piss off somebody who breaks games for entertainment. Yes. That's cool.
Believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work.
Screw your work.
For what? What did you get out of that?
Entertainment.
What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone?
I do this all the time.
Garbage. It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do?
Find
Even
a
if there
life.
were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do?
Listen to your heart.
No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Whoa. Okay. Wow. Was not expecting that. What's this tone? Okay.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny?
Yes.
You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley?
Not quite.
He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That
I'm not
thought
Stanley.
hadn't even occurred to you, had it?
Well,
That
yes.
there's a world outside of you. You're a child.
Well, no, I'm 18.
Uh-oh.
I'm old.
My
I'm pretty sure I'm
story.
older than you.
If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard.
Oh,
Behave exactly as Stanley would.
What?
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm
What the
quite
fuck?
sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What? Okay, that's it, you motherfucker.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
I think he wants me to go through the
when
left.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright then. That was a thing. Alright.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer.
Oh, he locked the broom closet! No!
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Well then. Is there anywhere I can go? Okay, this is different.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115. I don't think this game's voice activated, so I don't think this is going to work at all. I'm not even going to bother trying.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115.
I'm trying to speak into it!
Right there on the wall.
I can't actually voice act. I can't voice act in this game. It's not voice activated, you asshole. Maybe if you thought about that, I would have been able to do it.
Is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
No.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I would if this game actually had voice acting. Look, Night Shark 115.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously.
I'm more concerned about the fact that this office is different.
To show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way?
Because you fucking reset it.
To me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What? Am I...
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
Is that Stanley?
I need you to make a choice.
The end?
Walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
Holy shit.
Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose.
I feel kind of bad for the narrator now.
Anything. This is more important than you could ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there?
All because I decided to break the fucking game.
It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
I'm sorry, narrator. That wasn't my intention to break it this bad. To break you most of all. I feel kind of bad now, actually. Right, we're back here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, I'm actually going to try the doors
when Stanley
again.
came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered that this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I'd never actually gone through the red door,
Yes,
rather.
This room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I'm going to attempt the red door and see what happens there. Because he said he wanted to show me something
Stanley
beautiful,
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
It's incredible my school didn't try to suspend me
Look,
from how
Stanley,
bad I am at following
think perhaps we've gotten
directions.
off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story is...
Nope.
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Alright, let's try the red door for once.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
For this one
You see
time.
that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't
Wait,
here.
hang on.
Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Hang on, what the
Don't you see
frick?
It's killing us, Stanley. I wanted to stop.
It's looping.
We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Alright, one door leads into blackness, and the other door leads into blackness. Alright. Okay, that's a thing.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
What is this?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's
Jesus
beautiful.
Christ.
If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
This is actually beautiful. I agree with you for once, narrator. This is beautiful. Where am I? On top of a UFO or some shit? I mean, it's confusing, but still beautiful. Look at that. Oh great, now I'm on an acid trip apparently. Not that I know what acid is like, I don't really take drugs. Jeez, this is beautiful. If I had something like this in my house, I probably wouldn't leave the room. This is nice. Ooh. Green now. That's awesome. What's down here?
No, wait. Where are you going?
Whoa, just went really quiet. What's this?
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Wow, the narrator actually sounds really sad. It's beautiful, but I kind of have to progress the story, I'm sorry, so... Up the stairs I go. I'm sorry, friend.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
You will never keep your happiness, narrator.
No!
That didn't kill me?
Thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Oh wait, red stuff now.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
I would really love a room like this in my house.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Besides story progression, I'm sorry. That's a little bit more important to the viewers than this.
No, what do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
Sorry, friend.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Yes.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I'm sorry.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Anyway, on that depressing note, that's where I'm going to end off this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, set fire to that like and subscribe button. Recommend games to me, and I'll see you all in the next video. I'm keeping this. Hey guys, Cyclonic Flame here, and welcome to the Real. This is a really interesting game that I play a really